Salutations, respected viewers. This is George from Ireland, and here I am at Strawberry Hill, which is a house in London. This once belonged to Horace Walpole, the Earl of Orford. Horace Walpole was the son of the first Prime Minister, Sir Robert Walpole, and Horace Walpole was a politician himself, a Member of Parliament. He represented a constituency in Cornwall for a while, 13 years, though he never deigned to set foot there. One could easily do that these days because constituencies were controlled by landlords. Anyhow, he's better known as a litterateur, and he's the man who was responsible for the Gothic revival more than anyone else, both in architecture and in literature. So this is the house he had built starting in 1747. We're in Twickenham, which is a suburb of London to the southwest. In those days this would have been a village about 10 miles from London, so well into the countryside. And if it looks a little bit like a ruined abbey or something that's been turned into a house, that's deliberate. And you can see those large statues, reliefs built into the wall. He wrote a novel, The Castle of Otranto, which is a Gothic novel. So he prefigured Edgar Allan Poe and the like, perhaps Shelley's Zastrozzi and so forth. What else about Horace Walpole? He's known by his name rather than his aristocratic title. So he went to Eton and King's College, Cambridge, like his father before him. He had a number of notable literary friends from there, such as Thomas Gray, author of An Ode to the Distant Prospect of Eton College, where ignorance is bliss, 'tis folly to be wise, and so on. Now look at these on the banister. You can see these Gothic figures there. Looks like they've got a gold leaf finish. So Horace Walpole, he knew everyone who was anyone in the literary and political worlds. He was a Whig, like his father before him, but not that well known for politics. He was a wit, he was a friend of royalty, and so forth. More about his early life. Well, he went on the Grand Tour, which was like an 18th century version of the Gap Year, and was for aristocratic young men, never women, around the age of 18, to travel off to France and Italy, perhaps Switzerland and Germany. If they're very adventurous, Greece, and even then they might go to the Holy Land, what we now call Palestine, and Israel. Occasionally they went to Egypt and so on. He didn't get that far, but he absolutely adored Italy, and he was fascinated by classical learning. Of course, that was the mainstay of education in those days, and that's perhaps why he wrote The Castle of Otranto, Otranto being a real place in meridional Italy. So this is open to the public, well worth a visit, and it's got some lovely gardens as well. A Walpole oak, that tree is 250 years old. I decided I wouldn't film inside, just to show you the exterior, give you a better idea of what it's about. One can't film all the rooms, of course. I thought we'd do it better justice. Anyway, unfortunately, he died childless. He never wed. He had a number of relationships with women who thought to be unsuitable for marriage for various reasons. Whether these were really romantic or simply friendships is a matter of some speculation. And so the title and the land are conferred upon his cousin. Though there was one branch of the Walpole family who went to America, still there, and certainly there was a Walpole at Eton in my day who was a collateral descendant of his. Subsequently, this estate was purchased by St Mary's, a Catholic university, indeed the oldest Roman Catholic university in the United Kingdom, so most of the buildings are used for that now. There is a railway station here called Strawberry Hill. That's the way to get here, though with a typical British illogic, there is no hill and there are no strawberries at Strawberry Hill. Nonetheless, it's well worth a visit.